Hey guys, this is Chris, the lower slower board gamer, and we are continuing our series, my personal list, separate from the four of us over on IDJester's channel. We are doing the top 50 board games of all time, and this is my 40 to 31. It's the same that is on their channel. However, Sunday evenings at 8 Eastern for about a 2-hour show, myself, Phoenix Knight, Higher Ground Gaming, we are joining IDJester and collectively doing our top 50. IDJ and Higher Ground Gaming had already done 100 down to 51. But we just did our 40 to 31 Sunday evening, and you can check that out on IDJester's channel. And if you would like to join us for the next installment going from 30 to 21, it'll again be this Sunday evening, the 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14th of May at 8 o'clock Eastern on IDJester's channel. So this is going to be my numbers 50 through 41. So let's go ahead and move right on over to the FaceTime. And as you can see, I have my number 40 game on the list there already, and that is going to be Fortress America. My brother and I, we had a friend growing up, and he was a board gamer before there were board gamers. There was a game store in Exton, Pennsylvania, and he would go up there and get game components and make games when we weren't spending the weekend at his place playing games and going to church. And this game is one of those, Fortress America by Michael Gray and Milton Bradley. In this game, you are the United States in a time where the world has taken a Red Dawn style left turn and everyone is coming to take down the U.S. European, Central American, Asian factions invade almost simultaneously, and the U.S. is left to fend for themselves. And apparently we did not like hockey as much as Canada, or we might at least have one ally. But the U.S. player needs to fend off the invaders until they get the point where they realize that this is America and just back down. But losing the game is a very real possibility, so defend your cities, blast the interlopers with lasers, and don't forget to cry the battle cry, Wolverines! My number 40, Fortress America. In my number 39, one of the new games I had gotten this last year, and it's a tight little ditty made by Richard Borg in Days of Wonder, Memoir 44. You get to run through all kinds of scenarios, and there are expansions galore. It's just come back in the print the last couple of months, so this is a easily obtainable game once again. But it's a tactical level board/war game. The core game pits the forces of the U.S. Army against German forces in a skirmish by skirmish type of scenario game. I really do enjoy the way this game works. It is small in scale, not too much to control or maintain. It is also grand in depth with all the other expansions and potential this little gem brings to the table. Noise and light discipline. Keep it tight and don't wake Jerry. Memoir 44 is my number 39. Now I have some themes that I really like in board games. I like industrial games, tactical games, sports games, space games, games that make it feel like you have to survive situations. And apparently vineyard games? Viticulture Essential Edition by Jamie Stegmaier and Alan Stone is my number 38. It blends really good elements of the Tuscany expansion in with the base viticulture game. It's been out for about 8 years or so I'm kind of late to the table on this one, but I really do love this game. Mama and Papa give you what you need to start your own vineyard, and you employ workers to go out and get visitors to come by, plant and harvest grapes, crush the grapes, and make wine types and fill orders. It's not a long game, it's not a short game, it's just about right. The Automa works very well, as I have only played solo on normal, but Stonemaier seems to have really knocked it out of the park by and large with their AI Automa factory components for their games. So pop a cork, put on a good sampling party, just don't partake too much of the merchandise, and you see if you can create the best vineyard and viticulture essential edition. My number 38 board game of all time. Well, this is the third combat style game in this section, the third one that I have for 40 to 31. And IDJ and his War Room cronies turned me on to it, those enablers. There's a special room in some places reserved for them. The game is Warfighter, the World War II tactical combat card game. By Dan Verson Games. You pick a scenario, you pick your team, fit them out, and hit the road. You have a mission you need to accomplish within the allotted time, or else the battalion is going to have to find another way through. They are all counting on you. The core game is for the European theater of World War II, but they also have one for the Pacific theater, for the Mediterranean. They're working on the Mediterranean. Also, a futuristic special ops kind of thing, and the Kickstarter for the fantasy type game was last year, and it's scheduled to be released the end of this year. And their expansions out the old wazoo. The game takes up a little table space, kind of a hog. And it says more than one player can play this game, but for me, it really shines as a solo engagement. It really shines at a player count of 1. So definitely check it out. My number 37 by Dan Verson Games, Warfighter, the World War II tactical combat card game. Now, I grew up in Eastern Ohio in the heady days of We Are Family and the dreaded Steel Curtain, and I love reliving my youth when it suits me to do so. Getting dressed up in shorts when I was a very young child and going out in the snow with my friends in 20-degree weather to play some two-hand touch, maybe tackle football in the side yard with a Nerf ball that had become dry rotted and flecking away because it was a year old, and duct taped together so we could keep using it because mom and dad couldn't afford to replace it and get a new one. So when I whip out my number 36, Stratomatic Pro Football, all bets are off. Historic teams like the Packers and the Steelers, the 49ers and the Cowboys. And for all you folks who still watch the NFL, the Patriots, Buccaneers, Seahawks, line them up and mow them down. Run, pass, blitz, sack, break a tackle, late hit, coffin corner, you name it. All of it happens in this game and then some. I really love this game, and it is the easier of my football games for me to play. But as you will see, little spoiler, not my favorite. This does not lessen my love for Stratomatic football. Right here, number 36. Now, I think I own only one solo-only game. At least this is the one that has hit my list. At number 35, Friday by Friedman Freeze. I mean, I know this is a hit or miss with people. Either they get it and they appreciate it and they like it, or they think it is the stupidest thing where someone said, we have a box, we need to put stuff in it. We'll take these cards and these markers and that'll have to do. Me, I really do like this game. It's a card-driven deck builder where you are not Robinson Crusoe, who survived a shipwreck and drug himself onto this island. You play the role of Friday in a very abstract kind of way. You have to reach for it to see it, but basically what the thing does is you have this weakened fool that you need to show how to live and survive on the island, and you get him through encounters by getting him fighting points, so that way he's able to take on tougher encounters. And these encounters Crusoe needs to pass so that his abilities increase, and you make him stronger, show him how things work, and give him the strength so that when the pirates show up at the end of the game, and they will, he'll be able to defeat them and leave the island and leave you to your Mai Tai and your nice music, Southern Pacific music, living in peace, just like before, the way you wanted it all along. Friday, number 35. My number 34, I do not have a box for it, but my grandparents taught my mom how to play cribbage, and she taught my brother and I how to play, and I so love the game of cribbage. I do not remember a hand in recent memory where I did not look at what I was dealt, know visually and instantly what I hold on to, what I put into the crib, and in what order I'm going to play my cards. I could not enumerate the hands of cribbage I have played in my life. But Mom kept it in her beach bag or her picnic basket, and wherever we went, whatever we were doing that day, cribbage was always at hand and almost always came out for at least a game or two. Skunked and double skunked, double run of 3 with 7s, 8s, and 9s. Games like this and backgammon dotted my childhood and will always be in my home and on my list. And that is why cribbage is my number 34. And another game I picked up just a few weeks ago. It was so simple to learn that after 2 games, I devised a solo variant that I could play it by myself. And I'm working on it. Once I get it cemented, I'll have it on the channel. And there are all kinds of solo variants for this game on Board Game Geek, but I decided to just get it and take a try at it. And this game is Roll for the Galaxy by Wei Wang and Thomas Lehman in Rio Grande Games. This is a dice chucker, and I likes me a good dice chucker, I do. You take the dice, you roll, and you and your opponents pick certain actions you want to do for that round. Any actions chosen can be made by any player who assigns some dice to that action. So if one of your opponents decided to do something that you didn't pick, if you have dice assigned to it, you can do it as well. You try to settle planets, increase your technology, and ship goods produced on planets you have colonized. And it is really fun and, truth be told, quick game to play. I've also heard that if you have a good grasp on Roll, you would probably be able to more easily play its bigger brother Race for the Galaxy. But yeah, it's new to me with relatively few plays, but I really like it. My number 33, Roll for the Galaxy. Now, my number 32 might be another one of those divisive kind of games. But one thing that sometimes turns me off to a game is if it is very language independent, thus it has an Encyclopedia Britannica worth of iconography to learn in order how to play, because there's no words on the cards, there's only little symbols. But I got this game, and it's a good mix between size and that darned iconography. Tiny Epic Dungeons by Scott Almus and Gamlin Games. This epic little game takes heroes from the fantasy genre and plops them into a dungeon, where they have to fight off goblins and avoid traps while finding treasure and items and spells so that they can take on the big bad at the end of the game. And there is a timer, and it does not last long, so you cannot dawdle. You have to get right down to business in this game. Now, it took 2 or 3 longish, slow plays to get the hang of how to read the symbols and how they relate to one another on the tiles and the cards and what you have in the game. But once you pass that hurdle, it's like learning a small mini little language, and this is a really cool game, and it's easy and fun to play. My number 32, Tiny Epic Dungeons. And the last game in this segment, and I don't have a box cover, but it's at the top of the list, like right there, so you can tell what it is. But growing up in Ohio, Mom used to take my brother and I to the barber shop downtown when our mains got a little on the shaggy side of things. They had all kinds of magazines spread out for waiting patrons to peruse. And they always had the small little Football Digest magazines, and the back cover was always this game where you are the head coach. And there were cards for Fouts and Brooks and Muncie and White and Dorsett and Springs and Winslow, Jefferson, Joyner, Pearson, Cosby, Dupree, all these guys. And imagine getting to play football with your favorite teams and players. I'm going to say it wrong. Deal, because I've been saying it wrong for 35 years. APBA football weighs in as my number 31. I can say APBA, but that's not what I'm going to call it today. I gotta be me. And I still have those big honkin' result boards with which you could shingle a doghouse, and honestly, I can find a result on those boards, those big boards, 5 of them flipping through faster than I can reading strat cards, because some things you just never forget, man. Sitting in a dark closet with a single light bulb swinging overhead back and forth, rolling dice like some freaky old dude. I spent countless hours as an older teen, early 20-year-olds playing APBA football in my Greg Brady-like attic room in our house. And, man, this game will always stay on my list for the eternity of time. I would say back in the 80s, this was my number 1 game of all time. Of course, we hadn't gotten into the newer kind of games that we have, but APBA football, no, it's got it for me. It really does. This is my number 31. I said it, but I'm going back to my way. APBA football. So guys, that is the list right there. Again, if you want to see this live Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern over on IDJester's channel. Myself, Phoenix Knight, and Higher Ground Gaming are joining him to do our number 30 down to 21. We're getting to the nitty gritty, guys, and we got some really good games coming up on this next list. So thank you very much for watching. Go over to IDJ's on Sunday and check it out. And thank you. This is Chris, the lower, slower board gamer. Guys, keep on rolling.